as my life slowly degrades. Another thing I used to collect for is Magic the Gathering. Now, Magic the Gathering is not the most hyped card game in the world anymore because there's a lot of competitors out there. I mean, there's like, not Digimon per se, but there's like a lot of them out there, and I just can't name them all. One of the few is obviously the well-known ones is Pokemon as well as Yu-Gi-Oh, which people still collect for that, which is just batshit insane. I mean, yeah, there's still people who do collect for Magic the Gathering, but not as violently as Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, I do not even give a damn about those card games. I really don't. I mean, I used to collect them for them just to resell them, kind of thing, but that was pretty much it. And, example of some of the cards I owned here, which is from Mirrodin, which is Words of Waste. I mean, again, this deck, by the way, this card was attached to, and this is one of the most hated creatures in the game, which is the Slivers. And again, these cards are well, you don't make a lot of friends using them. Let's put it that way. I mean, they're just cheap. I mean, cheap being you can flood the entire game with these unless someone has some sort of card that wipes out the playing field or whatever. But it's just, again, I'm looking at these cards right now and I'm shaking my head, going, "Geez, all the rages I heard when these cards out into the field." And a lot of people should just try to make blue and black decks, which is swamps and island decks, to try to get rid of all these cards as quickly as possible, because they're just like, oh god, and then they just spawned like crazy kind of thing. But practically one of the first, I mean, this is not, or its most innovative card game is Magic the Gathering. Pokemon came out later on, and it was just, it caught the world by storm, made people relook at card games, and obviously people resold them for a lot of money, still kind of do. And you also had people who collected for Yu-Gi-Oh, which that still is popular to a degree. People are still collecting for Pokemon. Not as many for Magic the Gathering. It's sort of a dying breed. At the same time, it's something that still holds strong because of the other card games that Wizards of the Coast still publish, so therefore they're able to keep that dedicated towards some of the collectors out there who like Magic the Gathering. I don't collect for the card game series anymore, if I haven't mentioned that already. I mean, the reason why is because of the rules and all these figurative things added to the game just sort of make it unfun. I mean, it used to be a simple mathematical style game where there's a lot of strategy involved, and I mean, yes, all the other card games out there might have the strategy for some people. For me, they just did not cater to me too much, or just kind of boring versus how Magic did it for me. I mean, that's just my opinion, but didn't like them as much. They didn't feel as distinctive. I used to collect them through various means, which I had kept my rares inside this binder here, which I'll show you a couple of those. Some of these are also ones that's cards I need to look for quickly, so that way if I'm trying to build a deck I can easily resource to them. And some of the ones I have here is, where the heck is it? I mean, again, I'm going to show you one of them, where if I can find it. No, that's not it. That's not it. But again, as I'm saying here, I got a couple of these, which a lot of people consider this chick here bullshit, and that is Phage the Untouchable. I had two of her, and it was just a bullshit card. I mean, again, what the rules are is that you start off with 20 life depending on what kind of rule set you're going with, and you have to eliminate the other wizard player. And in order to summon spells, you can't just go, well, I'm putting this in defensive position. None of that stupid bullshit. You actually have to work for it, or find ways of cheating into the way of getting that mana early. While as by the rules you can do that to get mana early, generate a lot of mana, it was just the means of getting it per turn. So if you find an island or a swamp or something like that, you put it on the battlefield, and I mean, if anyone knows what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to Magic the Gathering, I'm preaching to the choir. But for people who do not even know the game, that's practically how you played it in a small sense. I mean, it's a fun game. It's just required taste, so to speak, where it would probably not appeal to a lot of people. And I used to collect all the way up to Mirrodin, and I just really stopped altogether. It was just the main reason why was obviously, yes, there was not a lot of people who even played it anymore at all, so there's really no point to really collect for it. And, you know, I used to get these boxes for free. Like, a friend used to just give them to me. They're like, here you go, here you go. So I got, like, free boxes of this just for the hell of it kind of thing. And, you know, again, I just stopped entirely collecting for this card game. It was just simply put, you know, it was, I wouldn't say monotonous per se. It was just, you know, cards became really annoying to collect for. So, I mean, Pestilence was one of the fun ones there. I think this was this fourth, not a fourth edition. This is one of the first generation cards, as you can tell. What year is this one? 95, so it was like a couple years later on, so I think it's like second or third edition, I can't remember. But again, they used to recycle cards, being they used to put like, you know, old deck cards into new gen rules. Or they used to just keep the same formula and just, you know, obviously do something like that. But again, I mean, the game itself is fun if you actually have a group of friends you can be dedicated to play with. I mean, it's just like how people would rally up and play Dungeons and Dragons. Same principle. I mean, you just gather around with a bunch of friends, or if you're doing a LAN party like with Call of Duty and all that. I mean, if you know, speak to the broskies, it's kind of like that for people who play this game. I mean, you probably wouldn't understand the game, so it becomes stupid and pointless or monotonous. And again, it's respectful that if you don't understand the game, it's pointless to you. So, with that said, you know, used to play this a lot after school or during school with some friends, and you know, it used to be fun seeing what we can concoct with cards and all that, and we used to one-up each other in fun mechanics, and again, it was just such a fun little game to sit down and play. So, I mean, again, ran out of people to play with in real life, so it just became a retired hobby. And, you know, while I only play with the older cards from Meriden under, you know, most people today are just like, I'm rather play with the new cards, and then have these cards of these rules are just like, oh, fuck that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these cards right now as I'm talking, and it's just, it brings back some good memories. And I'm planning to put these away in my closet. But before I did, I just wanted to share it with you guys. I mean, I had box art like this, which I believe this is, what is this? I think this is Sierra Angel, I believe. But, you know, again, I had these really cool boxes here. This is the same design. It's just, is it the same design? Let me look. No, my bad. It's actually, if you hold it like this, oh shit. If you hold it like this, it makes a, you know, a design, which is pretty cool. It's a Sierra Angel versus some sort of dragon, but pretty cool. I mean, most people who are probably going to comment on this video are going to obviously played it when they were younger, or just like, what the fuck is that? But, yeah, I mean, I have cards in long cases like this. Ooh, 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 I dropped that the wrong way. Ooh, man. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, I actually dropped that down the wrong way. So we're gonna talk like this. Hey! So, anyway. I got this box right here, which we should just, it's like 3 of these, by the way, I'm just showing you. And I actually sat down and organized all these damn cards, and that was, I didn't do it alphabetically because I have a life. I just grabbed all the colors and just separated them all. You know, segregation to the collectible card, you know, har har har. So, you know, that's practically what I did with these. I mean, if I had friends who wanted to trade with me and they needed some uncommons, we used to just, you know, pull out the cards, whip out our, swip them out and see what we had. And, you know, obviously my friends had much more cards than I ever did, or will ever have. And they used to just, you know, give me cards, I give them some cards to play with, and it was cool that way. So with that said, that's pretty much my history with Magic the Gathering. I used to treat it as a sort of a casual fetish kind of sort. I mean, I didn't rub my nipples on the cards or anything like that per se. I did. It felt good. Anyway, and you know, I used to just play it. It was a social kind of game for me. I mean, I treated it much like that. I collected just enough cards to be able to scavenge and make different kind of card decks and combinations. And if new cards did come out, or if I discovered a new card within the gigantic encyclopedia of, you know, the card library that was ever out, I would just try to find it and try to find it cheap and then put it to my card decks, you know, find 4 of each, because you only had like a limit of 4 cards per, you know, per item, and blah 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 blah. Talking too much, rambling, but yeah, those are pretty much going into the crawl, not the crawl space, but into the closet over there. But again, down in the comments below, share how you remember the cards as they were. Also describe how you used to play them and all that. I mean, just share with us, or share with me how you used to play the game. I mean, me, I used to just play all kinds of random decks. I mean, most of my favorites were the zombies, and as well as, you know, control decks. A lot of people don't like the control decks or the sliver decks, but it was pretty funny to mix in control and slivers together, because that just made people rage quit hardcore. So, with that said, down in the comments down below, how did you used to play the game, or how did you discover the game? Take it easy, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget, when this video is over, rub your nipples as hard as you can and go, ooh, man.